Hello, everyone. Coach Jay here. I am excited about today's conversation. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the book, The Great Stagnation by Tyler Cowen, and then also just a little bit of how we should really be navigating ourselves when it comes down to AI. And this is probably one of my more serious um, videos, just simply because we have to get serious. Like we literally have to get ultra focused. This is not even for playtime. Like this is not like I really want you to take this conversation very seriously. Um and it's only because after really going over the summary of this book and going deeper on some different perspectives that the author has, and then also the fact that I've been like binging on AI content that is more so specifically grounded in artificial generative intelligence. This is no joke. Okay. Like I'm really being serious. This is no joke. So let's just kind of like talk about it. So Tyler Cohen, I hope I'm saying his name right. Cowen, maybe Cowen. Wrote a book called The Great Stagnation. So it's an older gentleman who is the whole book is really about how in the world are we preparing our children for the next generation. And as a mother, and then also I have nieces and nephews that are littles. My oldest niece is 12, just turned 12, and then my youngest niece is, oh my gosh, my youngest nephew actually, because the youngest out of the grands, out of my mom and my father's grands, is 1 years old. And because we have two that were born around the same time within a couple of months of each other, and they're both one, and they don't play. And coming from someone who definitely cares about children, want to see children do okay, want to see children make it, want to see the next generation after me do better and actually have some level of navigation, and my internal low key subtle fear that we are like, what are we preparing the children for? Like when they go to school, what are they learning? Are they learning for a world that will be here or a world that will not be here? And if they are going to school for a world that won't be here, then why in the world are they going to school? That is my question. And my hope is that somebody in the spaces of power will not look at this as just a busybody kind of thing, but will literally raise the question like, what are we creating and what are we navigating our children to? Okay, because the adults are off, you know, a lot of our current generation that is in their 40s or in their late 30s and up, even 30s and up, these are the new adults, and we have to over explain ourselves. We have to over talk ourselves. We get up angry, right? So we have a lot of anger issues. We have a lot of misguided anger issues. We have a lot of people that are going back and forth. And we're having issues also with navigating important value value rich relationships that is definitely a look see into our children, because our children watch what the adults do. And if the adults are not okay, then are the children okay? Look, as Chloe and Holly, I think one of their albums, their first album was called "The Children Are All Right" or something like that. I could be totally but are the children all right? The children are all right. I think that's what it's called. But are they? Right? So as a leadership coach, my job is to work with women solopreneurs all over the world, helping them with offer design, and definitely getting them to a place where they're creating content that is attracting their ideal audience, and the messaging to make sure that they are attracting people that actually want that particular product or offer, that way there are no questions. We're moving into an age where everything has to be almost automated and systematically designed and supported so that it can support the human. and we still have to make money. We're in a capitalistic society. There's a lot of economic shifts that are happening in the globe, around the world. So many things are going on. And online, obviously, is when we're looking on these phones, when we're looking on the laptops, when we're looking on, uh, navigating through these online spaces, we have to start like asking ourselves, how are we moving online now? What is our value system when it comes into our online spaces? And then on top of that, the online world as we know it is the world that we live in. So even if we put these phones down, even if we turn the laptops off and the Wi-Fi off, life is probably going to be a whole lot different than us. And I actually believe it's in some cases, for some people, it's going to be very quiet, very peaceful. I think adults have grown very much so addicted to chaos. I do believe that we have grown addicted to drama. We've been, we've normalized having chaotic conversations and disagreements. Okay. So, but according to Tyler Cowen, the Great Stagnation, and he talks about the average is over. The age of average is over. And he talked about how the Great Stagnation started in 1973 and then it ended in 2020. Now, we're not talking about the day-to-day human, okay? Because we know a lot of people are just stagnant right now. And when I read the summary, when I asked deeper questions and came up with more insight in the book, and I was able to get the kind of an explanatory message from AI, from ChatGPT, I'm going to tell you this. It gave me a lot of information as to why humans react the way that they do right now. Like, I'm over here frustrated and I'm like, what is wrong with everybody? Why can't everybody just get it together? I see why now. I see why people are using the online dialogue and the back and forth of it all because it's simply an escape. And I've been saying this for a while, but I'm bringing light to it right now to just kind of, this is why we're in a state of avoidance. We're in a state of avoidance. We're in a state of anxiety. Okay, because technology systems is moving faster than what a lot of us can keep up with. And I've said this too, is that I think I said this probably 2 years ago, is that we're getting to a place where adults are going to want to go backwards to 1950, where things were slower, where nostalgia was way more potent, which, we romanticized life. And right now we're moving into a world that nobody knows what's going to happen. Like, we don't know if we got 30 minutes or not. We don't know if we got 30 minutes. We don't know. However, we have to adapt. Everybody is not going to be able to do this. And in fact, I would even argue the fact that there's less and less people that are willing to adapt because adults need answers. They like when you give them answers before you give them direction. Like, how do I know if I take this left that I'm going to go and I'm going to see what you want me to see? If I make this right, how do I know that the destination is what you said is going to be? Like, people are right there. They're not in the, oh yeah, I go right because I trust this person and I kind of fit. No, they're not in a trust space. They're in a, I'm going to sit right here until I know for sure that you're going to lead me in the right direction. Even if you tell me and you show me by way of testimonials, social proof, all these different things. Nope. I got to know that I am actually going to experience the same thing that that person is. That's where we are right now. But anyway, the Great Stagnation. It discusses the stagnation of economic growth in the U.S. and the challenges that come with it. So, the argument is that after decades of technological advancements and prosperity, the U.S. is now in an era of slower economic progress. That's very unfortunate. So, while there is innovation, like we just saw that AI is now generating images in less than 20 seconds. Whereas, in Canva, you would have to create the image. However, it does have an AI image generator too, but it's not as good as ChatGPT. I don't care what anybody says. It's just not. Like, it's just not. So overall economic growth as a whole has plateaued. So in terms of the future and preparing our kids for the new world, Tyler focuses on how we may be facing kind of a transition where traditional methods of preparing our children, such as, focusing on the general education, the simple skills, it just ain't gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough, and I don't care. I don't care. I suggest, no, I'm sorry. He suggests that due to the increased automation and the AI of it all, many jobs and careers will become radically transformed. A lot of the jobs that we have right now are going to be out of here. I mean, and that's just what it is. As much as we love to say, well, doctors and lawyers are still going to be here. We're still going to need police officers. All that stuff can be outsourced to AI. And I know you want to fight for humanity to be here, but we are showing that we are invaluable by the minute, that we are not as valuable as we thought. Okay. This is just the truth. So this means that the value of educating children to be competitive in the workforce is rapidly changing as well. So it's not about mastering conventional skills, but also about adaptability. I'm sorry, adaptability and creative thinking. If our children are not understanding how to adapt, and my child is in that same ballpark, like nobody is safe. So Cowen also points out the rise of inequality, and this is probably the part I've been saying for years, where certain individuals in regions that have access to advanced education and technology will thrive, while others are going to struggle. And this presents a problem for how to prepare for future generations. So the old pathways to success that we have noted, right, that we experience as millennials, college degrees, stable jobs, predictable career tracks, it's not going to offer the same certainty as it used to be. It's not. Okay. Even babies that are going to college right now, it's almost like I want to ask people, why are our children going to college? Like, it's that deep. And I already know people going to say, well, it's the social thing, and it's, we still need this. Y'all are not hearing me. Y'all are not, you're not reading the room. This is an actual question. Like, even my daughter, I asked her, I was like, okay, if you go to college, why? What do you want to do? And so we're really sitting down this week and getting very clear, because if you don't have, the only reason why a child will go to college right now is, number one, to get a full scholarship, but number two, for the social network and the social connections. That's the only reason I would say that it would be a good thing to go to college, and maybe just, deepening the critical thought. But even then, I don't know what college is like right now, because it's been, what, 20 years it's been 20 years. I graduated 2005 from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So that's in itself, that's cray cray, right? So he argues that the new world is shifting into one where highly specialized skills in technology, data science, and creative fields may be way more valuable. And so at that same time, there may be a growing divide between those who can capitalize on those changes and those who are not able to. And so, in terms of preparing our children, he does imply that we may need to think, that we really do need to rethink the educational system, encouraging more focus on critical thinking, like I just said, adaptability, keep messing up that word, and niche skills that will be in demand in this new economy. So ultimately, Tyler Cowen suggests that the new world will be marked by an economy where the average person may no longer, listen to what I'm getting ready to say, where the average person may no longer be able to achieve the same level of prosperity as previous generations. So this is why the Gen Z is doing so well, despite of what millennials are arguing and throwing up about. And I know y'all really just don't like to hear that. Oh, they told us same thing. I mean, because I did a TikTok video, and the girlies and the men's that came from me so hard in that video. And I'm like, I'm first of all, I'm a millennial, and I'm like, why are y'all tripping? Like, why wouldn't you want the next generation to do well? And they were really letting me have it. It was really unfortunate, but anyway, the path forward again, therefore may require rethinking how we are preparing the next generation for an increasingly unpredictable and specialized future. So the Great Stagnation, Tyler defines, because that's, ChatGPT really, what does he define? Tyler defined as average. And I would strongly encourage you, as you're reading books, like ask ChatGPT to kind of deepen some of these things, because it can really pull some pieces, out of these books and give you some deeper synopsis on what's going on. I would strongly encourage you to do that. But Tyler Cowen defines average as the median or typical level of access and living standards that most people in society can expect to achieve. But he argues that historically, economic growth and technological advances have led to improvements in living standards for the majority of the population. So when we have economic growth, when we do have some advancement in our technology, a lot of people do get a chance to navigate through them, and for the majority of us, we experience some level of normalcy, and then everybody kind of rises up together. However, that's ending, like that's done. You got people right now that's saying, I can't do ChatGPT, I can't do AI, I don't have any connection to it. There's some people that have never even logged on and looked at it. And I already know those people are probably going to be in the Hunger Games. I'm being funny, but serious at the same time. However, in the modern era, Tyler states that Cowen suggests that these gains have slowed down our progress, and the average have plateaued. Average refers to the kind of life that was once attainable through conventional means like hard work, decent education, and steady employment. So it was a life where most people could expect to have some stabilization in their occupation, their jobs, careers, own homes, and achieve some level of standard in living. But in the context of the stagnation he describes, is achieving this average standard of living is becoming way more difficult than it was in the past. So the rapid technology requirements and the advancements and the rise of highly specialized careers means that the typical route to prosperity is no longer clear cut or accessible as it once was. This is big. So he sees average as now, because this is what it is. This is really where it comes down to. Average as now potentially being associated with a more modest and even declining quality of life. The economy is increasingly shaped by a small group of highly specialized and highly skilled individuals and industries, while the rest of the population, those who once thrived by following traditional paths, is left facing challenges in reaching this same level. So this average that we keep talking about is in the modern world, it may not necessarily imply the same level of progress. It's actually going backwards. So average is actually going into poverty. Y'all not. This is really something. So when it comes down to content creation and AI, he even talked a little bit about that in that book. He talked about how um it's been cautious, and he's been cautious, but kind of optimistic about the role in AI that plays in content creation and authorship. But he recognizes that AI has the potential to really take industries to a new level, such as writing, design, and content production. So even though it's a low barrier entry to content creation, is you're going to have to get specialized, and you're going to have to get very, very serious about what it is that you want to be known for. So the changing of the landscape of authorship is here. So acknowledging that AI is capable of producing text, you could take a long form like this and turn it into text. You can turn it into images. You can turn it into, in some cases, even music. I don't know. which suggests and challenges traditional notions of authorship. So all of y'all that were doing a whole lot of graphic design and all this stuff, y'all need to be trying to find a way to create content or create strategies around graphic design, because now people can just plug things into ChatGPT and create whatever. There is AI right now for web design, like, and it's not like mediocre in average. It's actually pretty good. Humans may increasingly be involved in curating and guiding AI generated content, adding a layer of expertise that AI alone cannot replicate in so many ways. So higher level tasks such as ideation, vision, and complex decision making, you still got that under wraps. But that's if you are taking advantage of those skills and learning how to get deeper on ideation. And ideation is basically coming up with good creative ideas that are actually going to support you. Okay, so collaboration in the AI, as we know, I collaborate all the time with ChatGPT. I have tried, Perplexity. I have tried um all of these other ones, and Claude. I don't. I'm. ChatGPT has been the one that has been the best for me. Some people argue about Claude. You can have Claude. It doesn't have internet access for me, so I don't know if that's changed or not. I hope it did, but ChatGPT will always be that girl. Period. She has a name and everything. Like we like this. Okay. Cohen believes that the creators will need to adapt and leverage AI as a collaborator rather than view it as a competitor. So if you have a lot of people that's around you talking about, oh my gosh, well, AI is, it's going to take our jobs. I would not listen to people like that. And I would probably steer away from people like that, because all of that is just an inability to adapt to change. And these are the people that are probably going to have the hardest time trying to find something to eat. I just want you to understand something, that you need to spend the rest of your remaining years of what we have left here, and you need to be trying to get rich quick. I'm not even trying to be scammy. I'm not trying to be spammy. I'm not trying to be ew and squeamish. I'm really trying to tell you, like, and by the end of this video you'll get it, but I need you to understand that the severity of you stepping into your power, you need to start doing that now. Like, there's no more time to overthink. Like, I would guarantee you that 99% of people that want to create content are not. The top 1 to 2% in the world, or I would even go as far as to say 1 to 2% in the nation is creating content for the rest of the 98%. The 98% are the ones that's overthinking. The 99 to 98, that whole little right there, they are stuck in overthinking mode, and there is nothing that you're gaining by overthinking, because it makes no sense at this point. Like, I don't even understand why you're even, like, that's not helping you right now. So writers, might use AI to draft articles, but they'll still need to provide the voice, the context, and insights that connect readers on a personal level. So there's still human needs. It's just coming down. It's getting narrower and narrower. Okay. Um, Also, too, I need to skip down because I have notes here, and I'm just like, let me just, we got to get to a place too. Value of travel. This one probably hit the hardest, because AI, because there's going to be so much insight into the content, so much insight into what we're creating, insight to tutorials and creating this and creating that. Like, we've got to get to a place where we are understanding that learning and implementation has to tighten up. Like, you need to learn and implement at the same time. You need to, if you got an idea to do something, do it. Like, don't wait 30 days. Don't wait 2 or 3 days. Do it then. Because I think this is the thing. Like, adults right now, our generation takes so long trying to come up with something, and we're so scared of doing something and it doesn't. Oh, if I do it, what if nobody buys? If I do it, what if nobody, if they don't get results? Like, what if I don't do it? But what if you just stop thinking about what won't happen, or what if this doesn't happen, and just do it anyway? And if it doesn't happen, you can just literally do something else I promise you, a lot of people don't even remember what they did this morning. They're not going to remember. A lot of people don't even remember what they had for breakfast this morning. Okay, you're okay. Okay. Now I remember what I was doing on Michael Jackson's day that he transitioned out of here on June 25th, 2009. I remember what I was doing specifically at that time when I heard. I can't tell you what I did 3 days ago and what I ate. I broke out in hives on my back, and usually I'm really good at like, oh my gosh, this is what happened and this is what I ate and I can't tell you what I ate. I don't remember. So I guarantee you that a lot of humans right now, they are so into what other celebrities are doing and baby daddies are doing and people fighting and Breakfast Club this and politics this and April 5th protests and all those kinds of people are going to forget what you're doing. Okay, so you can literally launch something today, and then let's say 3 or 4 days you promote, and nobody comes and nobody. You can take it down and put something right back up. Like, no, people will probably pay attention. Like, oh my gosh, like that's different, and they're gonna go and scroll some more. Like, they're not gonna. People are gonna forget. Okay, so let me just say this. I just need you to just stop overthinking this and just do the thing. Because there's going to come a time where travel is going to become a novelty. It's going to become something that it's going to be considered upper echelon. I was looking at one of the YouTube videos of Tyler Cowen talking about this, and it was a guy in the comment section. I don't know why this comment really what is it called, got my attention. But this guy said, in the comment section, he's casually talking about traveling to other places as if everybody can do it and has no financial other barriers to it. Uh, yeah, because Tyler talked about the value of travel, that AI will raise the value of travel and human experiences. I told y'all that you need to have a business where you can globally navigate and globally experience things. Everybody right now that does not have some type of digital something, I don't care if it's meal plans, I don't care if it's journals, I really don't care. I really don't care. If is it something that can be done or executed digitally? If not, that's a problem and you need to get to work. A lot of people say, no, I don't, I think it face to face. I'm going to tell you like this. You're going to wish that you built that online audience. You're going to wish that you built that YouTube channel. Okay. I understand that the relationship based things in person is very important. And I do agree that you do need human experiences, but I also believe that you need to be building your online audience as well. A lot of people do not realize the value of an online audience. That's where a lot of your numbers are. And this is someone that is currently building up the digital assets and digital real estate. You need to start doing that because it's going to come a time where you're going to want to get up and travel, but your audience is going to be consistently plugged in and tapped into your content while you are traveling, getting the experiences that you want, and your business is going to support that because the value for value is going to be very important. So while you are getting value in the world, people are going to get value from what you are teaching. Amen, somebody. Cultural immersion is going to be the end thing. And then if you can't afford it, so it's going to be a lot of people that won't be able to get up and travel. And I'm telling you now, like all of y'all that's having all these babies, y'all better stop having all these kids. Don't let that man pump you up with all these babies. Y'all got to stop. Because the more children you have, the less difficult it is going to travel. You're going to have more difficulty in traveling. So if you got more than 2 kids, you need to be making the most money. You don't have that kind of time. And don't let anybody deter you from what you're doing. You're going to have to learn the highest level skill set per what you are doing so that you can give your children the gift of travel, or they're going to be right there in the zip code. I know people right now that got a whole lot of kids and cannot go nowhere. In fact, they haven't even been out the state. Do you know how much of a disservice to your children that is? They don't have any culture exposure. Anyway, let me keep going. So, with automation reducing costs and improving travel related services, so automation is doing something for us, right? So, it may be easier for people to access new cultures and experiences. Cohen argues that AI could make culture exposure more valuable by both enhancing our ability to connect with people with different backgrounds and by facilitating access to culture experiences that were previously out of reach for us. Virtual reality, this is where poverty comes in. So people that really can't get out and get up and go, you haven't gotten your passports, you haven't gotten your real ID thing and all this other stuff. For example, you could just have your immersive experiences with the VR thing. That's if you can afford it. So they have the Oculus. Y'all, I went to Target. I forgot when it was. It was a while back. Meta has its own booth and everything, but the Oculus, like some the VR thing, like it had its main booth. This is for real. Like there's people that are not going to be able to get up and go. Like that would normally get up and go. Like you're not going to be able to get up and go. And no one is exempt from not being able to get up and go. So in the future, travel may not be limited to traditional forms, but could include highly realistic AI enhanced experiences that provide a deeper understanding of other cultures. This is a reality. You're not going to be able to be there physically, but you can be there AI way. You know, right now, I suggest that some of y'all's offers, and I know that YouTube talked about this, that they were going to be able to change our voices to fit the language of people who are watching this across the globe. Like this is a reality. I don't think y'all understand the rising value of human interaction. AI is going to make possible, but it's only going to be limited to those people who have been doing the work and have been dedicated to doing the work at volume. Y'all are going to have to understand that AI does not replace human interaction, but it enhances the opportunity for people to engage meaningfully with the world around them. But if you are horrible at relationships, you can just forget it. That's not being a pessimist, that's being low key realist, and as well as um like just it's a reality. You've got to calm down. Okay, you've got to calm down. Everybody is not going, and you can't make people go. You can't fuss at people and tell them, this and the third, and you can't do that anymore. Everybody, I feel like we're in a great divide. We're in the age where now I'm not talking to everybody in this on this video. This video is probably going to get a lower view. It's probably going to get a lower engagement just because I'm talking about something like technology. But if I was talking about relationships and men and women and dating and all of this stuff, I would get numbers. I am okay with talking about the former. I am okay with talking about things that's going to move us forward because not anti-intellectualism and anti-intelligence is rising up, and I think it's very sad. I think we are intentionally walking into a dumbed down situation and a dumbed down life where even the simplest statements can be taken out of context where people be like, well, what do you mean by that? I literally said what I meant. Like, I didn't give you any grayscale. I didn't do black and white. I just gave you what I said as what I said. So now you're asking me to simplify even more a clear statement. This is a reality that we have to acknowledge, but then people who want to win in AI and win in what is coming is the fifth industrial revolution. The fifth industrial revolution is on the way and it's right here around the corner. Right now we're in the fourth. I talked about this long time ago. Fifth is coming, and then after that, the sixth. The sixth generation, I don't know if we're gonna be here for that. But I wouldn't be surprised how fast things are going, that if we don't shape up, like we have no choice. I have told you, I've made it my absolute mission to see I've made it my mission to see 2030. I want to see it, and I want to see it all the way onto the other side of that, because that's the new world, and that is what we are moving into. And we have to be okay. Like, we got to make some new commitments. Like, the way our goals, how we designed our goals in the past, we're going to have to design some new goals. We're just going to have to. Like, it's really come down to that. Like, how we, like, even the concept of God, right? And I know this is something that a lot of Christians, a lot of religious people are going to have an issue with, but our next generation, God is going to be very different. And I'm going to be honest too, that even when it looks at history, we don't understand that we're going to be the ancient times to future generations. And the future generations are probably going to be more of a humanoid type than now. Because we're hybrids. But when I say humanoids, that means literally half machine, half human. Their God is going to be completely different than the God that we are, holding on to from 2,000 years ago from a book. Okay. We got to remember that a lot of the things that we are exposed to right now, we're being exposed to 2,000 years ago. Okay. From 4,000 to 6,000 years of history, when there was history even before that and after that. But we're skipping a whole lot of historical events in between there. And this particular time, I fear, okay, that history is going to come. It's not going to include us. History is not going to include us, because we forgot that we need scribes. We need oracles. We need people that are going to document these times, because this historical context, even video, is going to serve as ancient text to generations to come. What happened in 2025? Let's pull up YouTube. My video should come up, hopefully. And I'll be known as one of the many that talked about this kind of stuff 50, 100, 200, 300 years prior in 2025. But we're looking all the way down the line at humanoids that wanted to know more about this time in history where humans actually roamed the earth globally. How are we talking? What was our stance on different things? What was our position? Are we like serving our next generations? What are you doing right now to preserve the historical context of this generation? That's why I say, when people say I'm ready to go and God is coming back and the Most High is coming back and all this other stuff, you're just not busy. And if that is the case, what are you doing to preserve? Because God was coming back then too, but they were still committed. That's good right there. They were still committed to preserving text. Except for now, you can make this video into text. You can make this into posts. You can make this into. You need to take this seriously. You take it seriously. These are the times where leadership is being called to the forefront. And if leadership is being called to the forefront, what are we doing? How are we navigating through this content? Like, how are we showing up? That's real talk. That's real talk. So I really advise you to do a lot of soul searching, right now, and figure out, like, write out, what do I want to be known for? And what does that look like on a long-term level? What does it look like on a revenue level? What does that look like on a business level, so that you can create a business or refine the business that you currently have to support what you're doing right now? That really is important. And I really want you to take that seriously. I really want you to take it seriously. So I hope this video helped you to kind of open your eyes up to what you are doing. down to the point of every minute of the day, you're taking consideration of what is it going to take for me to get ahead of all of this. And even if I can't get ahead, I'll feel ahead. I want to feel like I'm ahead at least, because you never know, the seeds that you sow today can reap a harvest tomorrow. Feel free to subscribe to this channel if this resonated with you. Listen to the comment section below what you thought about this video. I really want to know your thoughts and what are some things that you want me to talk about as it pertains to AI, women, children, education, relationships, self concept, making money. Like, tell me in the comment section below. I need to hear from you, because going forward, I'm going to be making content based on what y'all really need to hear and what you actually want to hear. Because I think that's important, that I have to say that if it's something that you want to hear, is the desire is to live. So until next time, we'll talk soon.